This is the Engines of Our Ingenuity, made possible by the friends of KUHF Houston.
Today, the oldest musical instrument. The University of Houston's College of Engineering presents this series about the machines that make our civilization run and the people whose ingenuity created them. The question, what's the oldest musical instrument, is one that chokes on its own ambiguities. Should we count the caveman drumming on a log? Should we count my dog rhythmically thumping her tail on the wall? Is that instrumental music? The question is not useful until we look for sophisticated music-making machines. After all, birds and whales were singing complex songs long before we humans walked the earth. As we move back in time, we find 4,000-year-old cuneiform tablets that describe a diatonic scale. But the written record soon runs out. The oldest artifacts are a few one-note whistles made by the Mesolithic modern humans of some 25,000 years ago. Then, in 1995, Slovenian archaeologist Ivan Turk made an astonishing discovery. Turk found a 4-inch length of a bone from the thigh of a cave bear. Pretty minor except for two things. First, this bone is roughly 55,000 years old. That was before modern humans. He found this bone among Neanderthal remains. The real shock is what's been done to the bone. 2 holes, each 1/3 of an inch in diameter, have been reamed into it. On either end, the bone has been broken where there were 2 more holes. We find that 4 holes have been carefully cut into the bone, and they're not evenly spaced. That can mean only one thing. This was a flute, and a sophisticated one at that. Musicologist Bob Fink from Saskatoon studies the scales these holes could have joined in producing. Since he has only a fragment of the whole bone, he has to juggle possibilities. However, the uneven spacing means that if this was a flute, it was tuned in a scale with whole steps and half steps. It was based on a scale that fits natural harmonics the way all diatonic scales do. Fink measures hole spacings, and he juggles the statistical probabilities of whole flute arrangements. He concludes with near certainty that this was a Neanderthal flute, tuned either to a harmonic or a melodic minor scale, a sound that's oriental to the Western ear, or sad or exotic, a beautiful and haunting sound. Up to now, anthropologists have debated whether or not the Neanderthals had speech. If they did, their range of sounds was certainly less than ours. But evidence has suggested that they buried their dead, protected their handicapped, and honored some deity. And now this. When William Congreve wrote that music has charms to soothe the savage breast, he missed the point. For where you have music, you no longer have savages. The cartoon brutishness of the Neanderthal was created by 19th century racism. Neanderthals had to be less than we because they didn't look the same. We knew their brains were at least as large as ours, but we swept that under the rug. And now this bone flute, and one more body blow to the myth of modern humans' superiority. I'm John Lienhardt at the University of Houston, where we're interested in the way inventive minds work.